Hey Chuck, how's the market? I'm glad you asked. We've got some interesting things happening in the Tampa Bay real estate market right now, and I'd like to tell you all about them. Just like always, I'll give you the numbers. I'll tell you what Pat and I are seeing out on the street, and then explain what it means to you, whether you're buying or selling. So first of all, let's go over the numbers. The median price is $452,000. That's down just a tiny bit from last month. It's only 1% difference. Nothing to be alarmed about. The amount of inventory has gone up 2%, which again is not a big amount. But here's the thing that is interesting. The month's supply has gone up 7%. Now, let me explain that, because I've kind of shied away from using the month's supply in my videos in the past, but I'm going to start using them now, but I want to explain to you what it means. So the month's supply of inventory is something we realtors use to kind of gauge the market. And what it means is if no new houses came on the market, everything stopped right now, it would take a certain amount of time for everything to finally sell. So we use that as a gauge. So it's 3 months right now. Now, just to give you comparison, between 5 and 6 months is considered a neutral market. Not a buyer's market, not a seller's market. It's just kind of right in the middle. So we're still solidly in seller's market territory, but it's moved up just a tiny bit. Now, these numbers say one thing, but let me tell you what we're seeing out on the street, because that's more important. Here's what we're seeing. We're seeing more activity. It's been kind of slow the past couple of months, but now we're seeing things picking up. People are buying and selling more, and the interest rates really haven't changed substantially during that time. They've come down a tiny bit, but not enough to write home about. So we're seeing activity, and activity is good for both buyers and sellers. Now, as far as prices go, we're not seeing any discounts. We're not seeing prices going way under asking price, maybe 1 or 2% under asking price at most, unless the property is way overpriced. But we're seeing some things happening. Now, here's our prediction. When the interest rates come down in the 5s, we think there's going to be this explosion of buyers because there's a lot of pent-up demand out there. There's a lot of people who want to move, but they're kind of hanging back and waiting. The interest rates are never going back down to where they were during the pandemic. That was an anomaly. It's not coming back. So if you're sitting there waiting, you're going to wait for a very long time before they start getting down in that territory, because we don't think they're coming back. That was a once-in-a-lifetime scenario. But as far as if you're a seller, you're going to get a good price for your house. If you're a buyer, it's less competitive right now. There's not as many buyers out there as normal, but there's going to be more and more if the interest rates come down, and they are expected to come down a little bit. We always say today's expensive is tomorrow's cheap. So if you're hanging in waiting for the market to crash, you're waiting for the interest rates to crash, it's not going to happen, people. It just isn't. The numbers don't support it. It's all about supply and demand. Supply and demand controls the real estate market. It's just that simple. And interest rates, they do indirectly because they affect the demand. But it all comes down to supply and demand. And right now, there's a low supply and a lot of demand. But it's not as competitive as usual. Ask us any questions. We'll tell you anything you want to know. I'm Chuck Vosberg from Next Home Gulf to Bay, along with my wife, Pat. We're your favorite realtors, and ask us anything. We put humans over houses. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.